What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and I know for a fact that this video is going to make some people feel angry or uncomfortable. So if you're not ready for an adult conversation, then this may not be the video for you. But this is what we do here on this channel. We have the difficult discussions. And I think that all of us are adults, so we should all be able to handle it. Now, over the past couple of days, I have talked a little bit about Bam Margera. As you may know, Bam is on the run from law enforcement as we speak. A few days have already passed, and they still cannot locate him, at least at the time of this recording. Things may change by the time you watch this video. But you know, I noticed a few things while covering this Bam Margera story. For one, for some odd reason, not everyone, but a lot of people are under this weird impression that if you make videos on YouTube, you should automatically know about every other video ever made on YouTube. I get the comments like, I can't believe you didn't see this video. You were researching, but you didn't watch this video? How do you not know what this random YouTuber said? Oh, well, what about this YouTuber's opinion? You didn't mention that. And I'm just sitting here like, what in your mind makes you think that I know every word that has ever been spoken on this platform? What makes you think that I know every other YouTubers' opinions? Chances are I don't even know these YouTubers exist. And that's nothing against them. I just don't know of these people. So never just automatically assume that I've watched every video on YouTube that you have, because that's not the case. In fact, when I do watch videos on YouTube, I very rarely watch videos about topics that I cover. But anyways, I just want to get that out the way, because this happens all the time, this random assumption that I should know about everything ever stated on this platform in the history of YouTube. Now, another thing I noticed, that there was a lot of enablers in the comment section. There was a lot of pointing fingers at everyone else besides Bam. I see people blaming Bam's mother for his situation. I see people blaming Phil. If you don't know, April and Phil are Bam's parents. So I see people blaming Bam's parents. I see people blaming Bam's brother. I see people blaming Bam's friends. I see people blaming Bam's girlfriend. I see people blaming Bam's ex-wife. Soon, they're going to start blaming Vito for everything Bam does.
Because you got no material to throw, and you can't just go there with a hammer and nail and hammer something and it's going to grow. Because you got these idiots sitting around and nobody knows what they're doing. Get the hell out of here.
But you know what I don't really see? I don't really see people holding Bam accountable for his own actions. Now, personally, I make a habit of not speaking on things that I don't really know. Now, I do know about the Florida Shuffle. I do know about these weird programs, this like AI virtual reality rehab stuff. It gets really weird and really wild. It's really crazy. And in my videos, I even stated that I think Bam needs help, maybe just not the help that he's getting. And when you're dealing with these celebrities and a lot of money, a lot of these people who claim they want to help you, they're not helping you at all. So I am not here to deny that Bam has gotten himself, or maybe Bam's loved ones have gotten him wrapped up in some weird stuff. We see this all the time in Hollywood. So I acknowledge, or I can acknowledge that that happened, or that is real, but at the same time, I don't know the intimate details about all of that stuff. Therefore, I don't speak on it too much. But one thing I am wise enough to know, I'm wise enough to know that me and random other people on YouTube and random people who watch YouTube videos, I'm wise enough to know that we don't know about this situation as intimately and as well as the people who are closest to Bam. I'm not delusional enough to think that me or other YouTubers or other viewers have the answers to Bam's problems. I'm not delusional enough to think that I know more about Bam's situation than Bam's own family and friends who have to deal with this situation every day. Yet we see it all the time. These experts that seem to know all about these people's lives, yet they've never spent a single second in their lives. So when dealing with something like what Bam is going through, it is a very delicate situation. Because from the outside looking in, I could point at things that I don't like. Like, I don't like this rehab facility. I don't like what was done here. I want Bam to be able to make his own choices. Like, I can, from the outside look in, I can acknowledge those things, but I can't sit here and pretend to know the situation better than the people closest to Bam. So what I've seen is a lot of pointing fingers at everybody, any and everybody else, and no pointing the finger at Bam. Because regardless if he has family members that are taking advantage of him, regardless if there's some questionable things going on at these rehab facilities, there's no denying that Bam has an issue and that Bam is spiraling downhill, and that's not what I like to see. Now, I'm not saying that this is the situation with Bam, but let me speak on something I do know. Often with addicts, what they do is they blame everybody else. Their problems are caused by everybody else, never by them. They will vilify and demonize every single person around them, even the people in their corner that want them to get help. They will make them out to be bad people, when in reality, these people just need help. I'm not saying that this is necessarily the situation with Bam, but from dealing with other situations in real life and online, looking at this, it looks really familiar. This person's bad, that person's bad, this person did this person did that. Everyone is an enemy. They're all evil, and I'm just this angel capable of no wrong. All of my issues, all of my substance abuse problems is all on everyone else. It's everyone else's fault but mine. It looks like that's what's happening here. And then you have the normal fan bases that come in and they enable this behavior. It's the same with Britney Spears. The Free Britney movement did not know what was best for Britney Spears. They pretended like, Britney has it all together, and all of these people are evil and bad. Well, guess what? It's been a year since she's been off the conservatorship, and I think most people who are paying attention can agree that she's been going off the deep end for months now. So I'm really hesitant in following up with fan bases when it comes to these celebs, because a lot of them are blinded and a lot of them like enabling this wild behavior. I don't know why. Maybe it's entertaining to them. Maybe it makes them feel better about themselves and their own lives. But I see it all the time with these celebs, and I'm noticing it with Bam Margera. It's the same thing with Britney Spears. We know what's best. Free Britney, she's okay. And then what? It's been a year and the girl can't stop spinning in circles in her living room. So I know that my opinion here isn't going to be the popular one. I know I'm going to get pushback. I'm going to get Bam fans hating me, and that's okay. Because unlike other people on this platform, I'm willing to have the not so popular opinion. I'm willing to be honest about my opinions, and I'm not here to win over anyone else's fan bases. I'm not here to make you feel good or comfortable about your opinions. I'm here to state mine. And my opinion is that Bam needs help. My opinion is that the people around Bam have enabled him throughout his whole entire life, including his family, and now it's his fans who will point the finger at everyone else instead of acknowledging that Bam has an issue. Now notice, nowhere in this video did I say that all of these people around Bam are great people. I'm not here to tell you that April is the greatest mother ever and that Phil is a standout dad. I'm not here to tell you any of this. I'm not here to tell you that they aren't taking advantage of Bam. I'm not here to tell you that his family and friends don't want Bam's money, but damn. When you get to the point that you're blaming April, Phil, the brother, the girlfriend, the wife, the niece, the nephew, we're going to blame Johnny Knoxville, we're going to blame Steve-O, we're going to blame every freaking buddy on earth except for looking at Bam and acknowledging that Bam has an issue that he needs to get control over. Sitting around and listening to Bam's stories about how this person is and how that person is, it's not going to help Bam. What's going to help Bam is for him to stop drinking and doing the things that he's doing. But he's never going to do that when he has thousands of people in his corner enabling him. Yeah, those people are bad for you. Those people are doing bad. Yeah, this person's bad. That person's bad. Bam, you're doing no wrong. Bam's never going to get help. Bam will never get out of this situation if he keeps being enabled by people like that. It happens time and time again. These fan bases enable these celebrities till they're 6 feet under. And I have a bad feeling that that's what's going to happen with Bam. Point me to one thing that should make me feel differently. I think a lot of the problem is that people want the juicy stories. You want all the tea. You want to hear about all the drama between Bam and Bam's mom and his dad and all of these other supervillains in Bam's life. But you don't want stories about Bam doing well and spending time with his kids. That's what people don't want. So in a way, what they do is like the snowball effect of people gathering on, all fighting for Bam's right to basically die an early death because he wants to keep drinking and acting wild and going to jail every couple of weeks. So what scares me here is, how can I put it? It's scary thinking about what happens to people like Bam when they go to these rehab facilities. People like Bam, Britney Spears, Kanye West, these various celebrities, they're often taken advantage of. They're put on meds that make them not so much them anymore. They're put through these wild, weird programs, and that is scary. That's scary. I'm not here calling for Bam to have to go through any of that. I want to make that very clear. I don't agree with conservatorships and all of that stuff, but it's a double-edged sword. So on one half, we have this scary situation with Bam having to go through all of these rehab facilities that aren't really trying to help him. And then on the other side of the sword, which is what is equally scary to me, you have this movement that is now growing. This movement of let's enable Bam to spiral out of control in the name of righteousness. Because it's right, Bam needs to make his own decisions and get out there and kill himself early. So that's equally scary. It's just as scary thinking about these weird rehab facilities. For me, it's just as scary thinking about these weird fans who will all form this movement now to free Bam and basically fighting for his right to drink his life away. That's scary to me. But I already see it forming. The same Free Britney type stuff. It's all coming around Bam. And I realize that there's a certain portion of people that this is what they do. We're going to move from celebrity to celebrity. We're going to create and talk about all these wild stories that happen with these celebrities. And then we're going to enable them to act absolutely insane online and in real life until they are dead. And then we will move on to the next celebrity. That's what's happening here. So honestly, the people who are wrapped up in that Free Britney movement stuff, I don't necessarily view them as valid sources when it comes to some of this stuff, because look at the last person that y'all tried this with. Things aren't going great for Britney, okay? So I don't want the same thing happening with Bam, to where you ignore all of Bam's problems, you act like Bam's problems were caused by everyone else, you don't put any accountability on Bam, and you enable his behavior until it's too late. So I think this is a slippery slope. I hope people acknowledge that this is a delicate situation. This is not just a situation for your entertainment. This is not just a situation for you to go down rabbit holes and come up with all types of theories about what happened to Bam, when and where, instead of acknowledging the issue that is right in front of your face, that Bam is very obviously dealing with some things that he needs to get control over. I'm hoping and I'm rooting for Bam to get better. I am rooting for him to find the cause of these issues and for him to find peace. However, I don't believe that's going to happen when we have hundreds of thousands of people in his corner enabling him to act wild and to just do all of the things that have landed him here in the first place. Let me know your thoughts, though, down in the comments below. Feel free to disagree. While you're down there, though, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I look forward to having more difficult conversations like this one in the future.